Welcome to the first episode of the Campus Cooler. I'm your host, Eric Jones. Each week, I'll bring you a few feature stories, some interviews, entertainment headlines, and my Hot Mess of the Week award. You know, I'm really excited to have this platform to be able to give you guys some local and national entertainment and lifestyle stories, so stay with me. Saturday night will be like Academy Awards night for many of the black sororities and fraternities on UGA's campus. That's right, it's time for Face Off 2012. 8 of the Divine 9 historically black Greek organizations will battle it out for guys and girls first place. The event is a highlight for black culture at the university as fraternities and sororities put on their best show in front of a packed audience. The event will be held at 7 p.m. at the Classic Center with host and comedian Robert Hayes and a very special guest, Rosanda Chili Thomas of the group TLC. Events like these bring up the whole issue of black Greek versus traditional Greek life, especially at UGA. Screaming crowds, boisterous chants, and entertaining step routines. It's initiation time for fraternities and sororities at UGA, though not the ones you might expect. News Source reporter Brandon Burton uncovers the unknowns of black Greek life.
This is the Zeta Pi chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha, a black fraternity at UGA that held its annual showcase for new members at Reed Plaza last Friday. Night events like these are the norm for inducting new brothers and sisters into these fraternal organizations. But this is only one difference between the hidden culture of black Greek letter organizations and traditionally white Greek organizations. The most notable difference? Secrecy. Potential pledges attend various events sponsored by the Greek organization they hope to be a part of, but they have to get an in with a current brother or sister. On initiation night, each pledge is given a number, their identity concealed beneath the mask as family and friends await the big reveal. Daniel Walker traveled from Savannah to see his grandson get initiated.
Well, I'm very proud of him that he made it through and everything. And he was telling me that, it got a little rough sometimes, but he had went so far, so he gonna see it through.
Among the crowd are members of other fraternities and sororities, such as sister sorority Alpha Kappa Alpha and recently revived Delta Sigma Theta. And there's another striking aspect of these diverse events: time. 7:06 sounds like a weird time to begin the ceremony, but we found out why this time is important.
Well, anytime you see any chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity hosting any kind of event or a neophyte presentation show that you just seen, we start things at an 06 time because our fraternity was founded in the year of 1906.
After the ceremony, the pledges remove their mask and reveal themselves to the crowd for the first time. They are no longer a group of guys who decided to pledge, but are brothers, bonded by a sense of group identity that they would say they are privileged to have.
It feels great. It feels great. It's kind of surreal right now. It really hasn't, I know I got on the shirt and the letters, but it really hasn't set in. But I'm just really excited, to get in the chapter and get to work.
The differences go on, but the similarities of sisterhood and brotherhood seem to outweigh them all. I'm Brandon Burton, UGA News Source.
Alpha Phi Alpha will be competing in Face Off on Saturday night, and we can expect more of these showcases in the spring from other Greek organizations. Well, seniors graduating soon will probably have one thing on their minds: getting a job. More than 100 students experienced a full day of networking at the Multicultural Professional Development Conference. I was there this week to cover it all, from the panels to the workshops to the networking. Check it out. These students are taking big steps toward their careers. That's why they came to the Multicultural Professional Development Conference on Tuesday afternoon. The UGA Career Center hosted the day-long event at the Georgia Center. Students came to learn more about jobs, meet employers, and get a major pep talk from Judge Glenda Hatchett.
Schools and papers and working and all the things that people are trying to balance. But I also want them to understand that they are here on this earth for a purpose.
Even though this was a career event, that did not stop underclassmen from reaping the benefits.
Get exposed to a lot of different employers, and I think learn a lot of new information.
The 4th annual conference emphasized workplace diversity. First, students sat in a Q&A panel with employers from big companies such as Target and Liberty Mutual. Then students got to network in small groups with prospective employers. Company representatives all said that resumes are the most important tools in job hunting. I'm at the Tate Print and Copy Center where I just printed off my resume. A lot of employers at this conference will stress the importance of having a great resume. They say walking into an interview without one is kind of like, playing tennis without a racket.
I know if a resume is good within 5 seconds.
But Judge Hatchett's keynote address was a highlight for many. She had one agenda, and that was to motivate.
To be true to yourself, number one, and then to be open to the possibilities.
After a jam-packed day full of career preparation, networking, and professional advice, students are only a resume and interview away from their next big opportunity. And let me just tell you, Judge Hatchett was really happy to be there, and that really came across in her message. At one point, she made everyone stand up, including myself, and say what we were going to be as opposed to what we wanted to be for our careers. She opened up a little to me after the keynote address and really had some inspiring words for all of those attending and for students about to graduate. That came tonight.
I think it's very important. I was particularly excited that they invited me. I love having audiences with students because I think that it's important for them to be able to take a long view. Sometimes it's so hard with schools and papers and working and all the things that people are trying to balance. But I also want them to understand that they are here on this earth for a purpose, and it's important that they do the soul searching to find that purpose.
Perfect. And I walked in towards the end, but I realized that you got the crowd, kind of pumped. Has your career kind of helped prep you for public speaking?
No, I don't think so. People ask me that all the time, and I've never been trained in public speaking, but I speak from my heart, which I think is the key.
Okay, and my last question to you would be, getting your start, what kind of advice can you give to, people like myself who are graduating in a few months, starting out on that career path? What kind of big advice could you give?
Yeah, to be true to yourself, number one, and then to be open to the possibilities. So just don't be so narrowly focused that you miss some other opportunities that may come your way.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so
very
much. We now turn to some national entertainment stories, and boy, was it a week for the rumor mill and the water cooler at work. Actress Demi Moore and her mysterious health problems continue to surface. It's no secret the star has been getting over her recent split with 2.5 Men star Ashton Kutcher. But Moore has had a major health scare on Monday when she was rushed to the hospital. A 911 call released today reveals the actress being in a mad panic and begging dispatchers to come as soon as possible. A source close to Moore says she was smoking something very similar to incense. Her ex, Kutcher, has not commented on the matter, not even on Twitter. And you've heard all the puns imaginable relating to this story. Wheel of Fortune host Pat Sajak admitting that he and wingwoman Vanna White had a few drinks on some tapings of the hit syndicated show. The game show host gave the details in an interview with ESPN2 reporter Dan Le Batard. Sajak admitting to sometimes having 2, 3, and even 6 drinks during the 2.5-hour breaks between the show. And coming off reports that Oprah Winfrey is the godmother for their baby daughter Blue Ivy, Beyonce and Jay-Z can now celebrate another accomplishment. The power couple recently ranked 13th on the first ever Billboard Power 100 ranking. The list factors into account ticket and album sales as well as smart business decisions. Jay-Z holds the record for the most #1 albums, and the single ladies singer Beyonce has sold more than 30 million albums in the U.S. alone. Other names on the list were U2 coming in at number 27, Taylor Swift at number 78, and the little monster herself, Lady Gaga, at number 84. And now comes the sad part of the show, my weekly Hot Mess Award. It's going to go to Evelyn Lozada from VH1's reality show hit Basketball Wives. If you're a fan of the show, you know Evelyn can be a bit of a hothead. And this season, apparently, her and her former BFF, Jennifer Williams, aren't exactly on good terms. In good promotion for the upcoming new season, Lozada, who is engaged to NFL star Chad Ochocinco, lashed out at Williams on Twitter. The tweet said, and I quote, "No matter how long you walk around with those purple contacts, you will never be a white girl." Ouch. The feud reportedly began over Williams thinking Lozada was jealous of her friendship with Real Housewives of Atlanta star Nene Leakes. Regardless of the cause for the fight, Evelyn Lozada is the hot mess of the week. Congratulations, girl. And that does it for the first edition of Eric's Campus Cooler. I hope to see you again next week. Bye-bye.